Mr. George Rock Party. Mr. George Rock Party.
Mr. George Roger
Roger Boaty. Mr. George Roger Boaty.
Yes, well, of course it is. And good evening, darlings. And just hang on 1 second while I do this so I can actually see. Oh, turn down, for goodness sake. Oh, God, there's loads of you. Jolly good. Well, this is exciting, isn't it? Well, good evening and welcome. A very warm welcome indeed. The warmest of welcomes. A lovely, there, I'm giving you a warm hand upon your entrance. And God knows you can't beat that. A very warm welcome to Thursday Night Live. Mad Thursday, Crazy Thursday. Last live stream of the week Thursday. And I'm so glad that you're here. I am absolutely bum-swizzled with joy to be sharing this time with you all. It is the most special time. Spending time with you guys is like lying on an island paradise in the Caribbean, having Alanis Morissette at her absolute peak, rubbing baby oil into my summer cardigan. That's what you lot are like to me. And I hope you've had a fabulous day. I have. I'm going to be talking about it in a moment. But I would love to hear about your fabulous day. Here, right now, on this, with me, Boaty. And I'm going to be pouring myself right down your lug holes for the next 57 minutes until it's midnight and I let you all go, scuttling away, clutching your ears and wondering what the hell you've just endured. Good evening, Barry, that guy from SETI Alpha 5, who bids me a lovely good evening and says hello to all of the lovely people of the community. Oh, hang on, what's this? Oh, I'm about to fall out with Barry. Barry says, I'm about to become officially old-aged. I'll be 41 on Monday. Well, no offence, Barry, but sit down. You're still an infant. 41. Christ almighty, you've barely been born. Officially old, my ass. Joe is with us, Cars with JC, and Joe is not 41 on Monday, but he says, good evening, Jason. Good evening to you, Joe. I hope you are well. I am, thank you. And I hope that you are too. My wonderful friend, oh, well, that's very kind. Cheeseburger's here, the general master of ultimate shithousery, and he bids a cheery good evening to Barry. Joe says, so happy Boo passed her MOT. Yeah, I'm very happy about that as well. And I can report that Miss Boo is safely home here at Windy Bottom. Well, actually down there at Windy Bottom, down past the village hall. But she's home and she has got, I'll just do a Neville Chamberlain impression. Now, I'm guessing that none of you actually know who Neville Chamberlain is. And even if you do, you probably don't know what he sounds like. So if I do an impersonation of Neville Chamberlain, you can't tell me that I'm wrong. So there. All right, me babs. I hold this piece of paper in my hand. There you go. That was Neville Chamberlain. And the piece of paper that I'm holding in my hand is Miss Boo's brand new, fancy schmancy, beautiful MOT. So that's it. She's all legal. She's MOT'd. She's taxed. She's insured. And she is licensed to get through snow and rain. So that's splendid. Neil is here, a.k.a. the Gibbinator. El Gibbinatore. And Neil says, hello all. Hope we're all good. I hope so too. And in high spirits. Oh, that would be nice. How has everyone's day been? And that is an excellent question. So please, we genuinely want to know. We are your friend. Please tell us how has your day, quite frankly, been? Oh, I'm going to have a bit of wine. Oh, cheers, darlings. Your very good health. Up yours. Oh, lovely. I do feel I've earned that today. Not sure why I feel that, but I do. Jimmy Quinn is with us and says good evening, Boaty and all, and a very good evening to you, Jimmy. And a big shout out to Paul, says Joe, for fixing Miss Boo. What a wonderful friend he is. And I second that. And by way of thanks, I did 3 nice things for Mustard today. Number 1, he put £10 of diesel in Boo to make sure that she got back here safely. And I gave him that £10 back. All right, that's not a particularly nice thing. That's just, that was that was something I had to do. But I did 2 other nice things. Captain Mustard's windscreen mount for his phone is, quite frankly, shite. So I gave him one of mine, one of my new ones. We are now mounting buddies. And yes, you could choose to take that the wrong way. But yeah, I mean, these are, as far as I can tell in my experience, these are pretty much as good as it gets. You're never going to get perfect in a phone mount. It's not like a GoPro mount with a 3 suction stable doings. You can't get those for a phone as far as I can tell. But these are very good. You can, they will fit anywhere in the car. They're adjustable any which way but loose, and they are pretty damn stable. So I gave Paul one of these so that he's got a decent, at least one decent windscreen mount, which left me one short, quite honestly. So as soon as I got home this afternoon, I ordered 2 more because they're, as far as I can see, according to Amazon, they're not in production anymore. They're not available anymore. So I'm snaffling up all the ones that are left on eBay, and I managed to find 2, and I have ordered them because I still want to have one in each car. And if I can get a few more, I'll give Paul another one so that he's got a spare and whatnot. And the other nice thing I did is I bought him lunch. But both of these things pale into insignificance against his efforts in fixing Boo. Because it didn't look like fun, quite honestly. And bless him, he did it. And she's MOT'd, and I am jolly grateful. Cheeseburger says, I see Boaty is back to 6K subscribers. Yeah, bloody hell. Yeah, I've managed to struggle my 6,002 when I last looked after my little YouTube cull. So yeah, nice to be back over 6, and hopefully, hopefully the figure will go up rather than down. I quite like the idea of hitting 10,000. I quite like the idea of catching up Joseph Lloyd. And I quite like the idea of getting about 250,000 subscribers and having lots of money and being able to buy a Range Rover and pay bills and buy new pants and things of that nature. I mean, the problem with me getting 250,000 subscribers is I'd have to make better content. Yeah, and there's a problem with it. Actually, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about better content because And I would like your opinion on this. Now, tongue in cheek, I asked in the Facebook group the other day, I asked which was my worst video. And that was just a little bit of fun. But I'm going to ask you now on this live stream, even if you think all of my videos are pants, what do you think is my best video? Or put it another way, what do you think is my least worst video? And there's a reason I'm asking that, and I'll tell you that reason in 1 second. Yeah, if I want to grow the channel, and I wouldn't mind, to be perfectly honest with you and frank with you, I try to be frank with you, even though I know you'd rather I was crazy. If I want to grow the channel, then I need to put out some decent content. And I've watched a couple of videos back. Now, last night or the night before, I watched my Freelander video, the test drive and walk around at the Freelander video. And I must admit, I looked at that. It's one of my videos that's doing okay. I think it's at about 3,000 views, something like that. And it gets steady views on a daily basis. Not massive amounts, but it does get steady views. And we did an experiment today, me and Mustard, because we were talking about stuff. So we did a search for Freelander videos just to see where we came up in the search. And if you type in just Freelander, then Mustard is quite highly up there, and I'm nowhere to be found. If you type in Freelander 1, my video is second video, ahead of all of Matt Richardson's on Hippo, and so on and so on and so on. So I'm really happy with that. But I watched that video, and I must admit, I thought this is actually good. I was doing it in a certain style, not an impersonation, but I was doing it in a particular style where I spoke in a particular way. I left particular pauses. I placed certain emphases. And I'd done my research. And I've got to say, that was a bloody good video. Now, I think that if I could put out videos like that, not all the time, I don't want to be that serious. I want to do the fun stuff. I want to do the live streams. I want to do the daily diaries. I know they're never going to make any money, and I know they're not going to earn me subscribers. That's my bit of fun and my thing to share with you guys. And I know that's never going to grow the channel. If I was a female woman with tits, then yeah, maybe that sort of stuff would fly. But, a fat old guy, there's not that many. I mean, you wonderful people share my time with me, and I'm so grateful for you. But I understand that it's a somewhat limited market. Whereas videos like that one that I did on Freeland, if I were to do those on other cars, that could do very well for the channel. So that's why I'm asking you, which do you think is my best video? Because to grow the channel, I need to pop some of those out once in a while. And so, yeah, your feedback would be welcome. I want to carry on doing the dross, but every week or 2 weeks, I should try and bung in a proper video that will actually do views, do some money, and potentially grow the channel a wee bit. Because it would be nice to, to get up to, well, it would be nice to catch up to the Josephs of this world. And in the longer term, wouldn't it be great to become a Hubner? Now, is that a stupid thing to wish for? Or, on the other hand, what am I doing that's so different to Hubner? I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. What is it about Hubner that makes him so particularly popular? Okay, he started at a time where there was less competition, but he's still a growing channel. So he's doing something very, very right indeed. And in theory, I don't see why I couldn't be a Hubner. Well, I mean, I can't grow a beard like his, admittedly, but I've got a collection of crap cars. I'm perfectly willing to embarrass myself on camera. And I mean, what else does he do? He does car reviews, which a lot of people like. I can do a car review. My Freelander, I think that was a good video. Anyway, that's enough of that. But do let me know your thoughts on whatever the hell it was I was just talking about. No, he didn't pee in the tank afterwards, Cheeseburger. Diddly do, diddly do. Oh, hello. Speaking of mustard, the man himself is here. Hello, everyone, he says. And I haven't read ahead. That's the only comment that I've read. But I guarantee you that in about 6 comments from now, there'll be a comment saying, I'm multitasking, I'm editing, I'm nearly finished. And I mean, I can't say anything too much because I know he is genuinely editing at this time. And to be fair, he does his live streams, or tends to, of late in the afternoon when I'm editing. So I kind of don't watch his for the same reason. I'll say hello, but I don't get glued to them because I can't. I'm working. And I know the same is true with Mustard. I just like to make him try and make him feel guilty. We've had a really good day today, by the way. I know that if you were with me on last night's live, then obviously we set up the thing today where Mustard would deliver Miss Boo back to me, and then I'd take him back. Well, he would take me back to the yard in the Rover 45 and do a video on that, and then I'd come home, and we did exactly that, except that I understand that Mustard did a test drive video in the Freelander on the way down here, and I can't wait to see that, to be honest. I'd be really interested to see that. And then he did drive, not all the way back, he drove half the way back and made a video there. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And we had lunch before I came back. And oh, I had the best lunch. We went to David's Chippy of Milne Row. And I had my favourite. I had my fix. I had battered sausage, chips and curry sauce. And I don't mind telling you, I had a large curry sauce. And it was fabulous. God, I enjoyed it. And then I got home and just had enough time for a shower, get changed, go to work. And now I'm home and I'm here with you. Yeah, that's a good day in anybody's book, isn't it? Oh, and other stuff happened. I think, he'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that a new car has been picked up and taken to the yard this afternoon / evening. And we sold one today as well. So a potential sale became an actual sale. The deposit has been taken. So, yeah, I mean, a splendid day all around, really. And tonight at the restaurant was absolutely fine, by the way. We had a big birthday celebration in. They were fun, they were noisy, they were rowdy, and it was great fun. And I'm making noodles for supper. So, I mean, what a day, really. I'm just living the dream. Will he notice if we go, says Cheeseburger. Oh, dear. Barry says, Boaty's rocking the Bond look again. Yeah, I might go for a change tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I might do the British country gentleman look or the Jeremy Clarkson look. I might dig out... Oh, yeah, I might actually. Yeah, I've just had a thought. We'll see. Suited and booted Boaty, says Joe. I hope it's a clean shirt, says Cheeseburger. Yes, it is, you cheeky sod. Has he been to a funeral? Asked Cheeseburger. No, the next one I go to will be yours, dear boy. I don't mean that. I don't mean that. Bad Books is here, Ernie Bond. Skick is here and says good evening. Jimmy Quinn says the hitman is back. Can he put the balaclava on his... Cheeseburger's on form tonight. Oh, Barry says first day of my new job today. Well, let us know how it went. Peace in our time, says Cheeseburger, who picked up on the Neville Chamberlain reference. Peace in our time, our kids. Ah, Boston, innit? Yeah, that was Neville Chamberlain, by the way. Driscoll Brothers, says Bad Books. That's who he reminds me of. Well, I've never heard of them. My son is 44, says Jimmy Quinn. I must be very old. Nonsense. You're in your early mids like the rest of us. Cheeseburger says she's taxed, insured, MOT, and has a Rogered clutch. Clutch is absolutely fine, Cheeseburger. It'll last for years yet. Neil says, I had the pleasure of seeing a fine for stupidity today. £150 for running out of diesel on the motorway, cost the member 250 quid for fuel and the fine. I was low-key laughing inside. Bloody hell. Do you get fined for running out of fuel on the motorway? Hang on, let's read that again. £150 fine for running out of diesel on the motorway. And it cost the member 250 quid for the fuel and the fine. Who fines you for running out of diesel on the motorway? That's a new thing. I didn't know about that. And Cheeseburger also asked, do you charge for running out of fuel, Neil? Well, I mean, they're going to charge for the fuel that they put in. Oh, it's the Highways Agency, apparently. Thank you, Neil. It's the Highways Agency that fines you for running out of fuel. Bloody hell. I mean, do you have to admit it? Could you not just come up with a cunning excuse and say it was something else? Blimey. 150 quid fine for running out of fuel. Oh, that's like being charged for having an unauthorized overdraft or a direct debit bouncing. It doesn't happen so much these days. It used to. It used to be like a vicious circle. You know, you're over a direct debit bounces because you've got insufficient funds. And then your bank charges you £10 to write to tell you that your direct debit has bounced and that there's a £15 charge for your direct debit bouncing. They get added onto your account, which then puts you overdrawn into an unauthorized overdraft. So the bank sends you another letter to say that you've got an unauthorized overdraft and that you've got a £25 charge for that. And it just becomes a cycle that you never get out of. And you end up becoming a homeless prostitute. Well, that's like that, isn't it? You can't afford to put fuel in. You're chancing it a little bit. You have the misfortune to run out on a motorway and you get fined 150 quid for being too poor to fill up your fuel tank. God. I mean, and I blame smart motorways. In the old days, back in my day, you could run out of fuel, no problem at all. You just shove onto the hard shoulder. And if you're a very lucky person, Chris Eubank will take you to the services and then take you back with some fuel. He did that for somebody. Wasn't me, but he did it for somebody else. They ran out of fuel on the motorway. He picked them up in his Range Rover, took them to the services, got them a can of fuel, took them back to the car. You know, that's the kind of chap he is, a jolly nice chap. Admittedly, the same Range Rover, he did kill somebody on a motorway who was broken down in the hard shoulder. And unfortunately, he veered off the road, hit them and killed them. So basically, if you're dealing with Chris Eubank, the evidence would show that if you run out of petrol on the hard shoulder of the motorway and Chris Eubank is driving down that motorway, you've got a 50% chance that he will stop, help you out, get you fuel and deliver you safely back to the car, and a 50% chance that he will drive off the motorway, kill you, and then go to court and say, to disgrace, the brakes on my Range Rover failed, and if I'd have put the car in to be checked, I could have proved that this was the case. So there you are, make it up what you will. Hi, Boaty, says Sophie. Hi to you, Soph. How are you today and how's your day been? It's been grand, Sophie, thank you. It's been busy and it's been long, but it's been great. More to the point, my lovely, how has your day been and how is the job hunting going? What sort of job are you looking for? And has anything come up today at all? Or have you heard from any that you've applied for previously? And yeah, what is it you would like to do? And what do you want to do when you grow up? Maybe you should become a mechanic and work for the AA, like your other half. Jimmy Quinn says that was nothing like Neville Chamberlain, Boaty. I could have been him, Jimmy. All right, me babbies. Peace in our time. I hold this piece of paper in my hand. Because, of course, Neville Chamberlain was from Smethwick. Neil says, Highways got there before me. Fined her for it. Then blocked the hard shoulder while I was en route. And we don't charge any more for it. Bloody hell. Fining her. This is the first I've heard about this. Well, what do we think about this? I mean, is this an outrageous tax on the poor, or is it a worthwhile disincentive for people to be silly and drive on the motorway with low fuel, where running out could cause a major accident? I mean, what's next? Are you going to get fined for breaking down because your car is overdue a service by 500 miles? I mean, that would be the logical next step, wouldn't it? Bloody hell, I'm shocked by that. Look, this is my shocked face. My flabber has seldom been quite so ghasted. Oh, I've got a YouTube notification. That's exciting, isn't it? Sorry, low tide at Glass Bay. I'm just organising replenishment. Replenishment. I'm really looking forward to my noodles. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. There was no need for that. There really wasn't. And I'm looking forward to getting some content up. I haven't had time. I've got loads of footage, loads of content, and I've not had time to get it up this week. It's been a bit mad, what with the Monday, Tuesday thing and then the today thing. I've got 2 test drives waiting to go up. I've got a lunch video with Cooperman waiting to go up. I've got or have I? Oh yeah, I've got another lunch video from today to go up. I've got the drive down. Oh, I might have to put that in the daily diary actually. And I've got something else to go up. I can't remember what it was. Oh well, never mind. Anyway, let's. I believe, says Ben, and good evening to you, Ben. I believe the hairy Paddington will choose to take that the wrong way every time. Quite right. Neil, I didn't know the Highways Agency could do that, says Cheeseburger. Fair play, though. Would they fine her if she made the hard shoulder? That's a good question. Happy Mad Mike Thursday, peep, says Ben, and a happy Mad Thursday to you. When Boaty is rich and famous, says Cheeseburger, he's buying a 3-pack of red pants. God, wouldn't that be a thing? Wouldn't that be a thing? Blimey. A 3-pack of red pants. Gosh. Oh. God, wouldn't it be great to be rich and famous? I mean, you'd attract women anyway, and you could just say, no, I'm sorry, but no. You are only attracted to me because of my money, but you are not being honest about it, and that offends me. So I shall spurn you, and I shall instead engage the services of a plethora of very expensive prostitutes who are much more open about their... Oh God, what was the South Park thing when who was it that Chef was talking to the children about prostitutes and somebody did the song? Who was it? It was that guy that I never think should be really famous, and yet he really is. A prostitute is like any other woman. They all exchange something for sex, and they do it well. But that's not why you pay a prostitute. No, you don't pay for them for sex. You pay for them to go away afterwards. And I love that idea. The idea that the real reason why you pay for a prostitute is so you don't have to cuddle them and talk to them afterwards. They just go away. And you can... Oh, somebody tell me who it was doing the singing on that episode. I can't remember who it was. I used to love South Park back in the day. God, I did. I had all of the first 3, 4, 5 series on VHS when I had the cottage in Wales. I had a front porch veranda thing, whatever you call it. And it used to go the whole length of the cottage, and it sat overlooking the valley, looking over to the mountain on the other side. And the whole 2 floors of that was shelved with VHS video cassettes all the way around, including all of the South Parks. And I used to watch them all regularly. God, I loved South Park. I really did. Haven't seen one forever. Maybe that's what I should do one night. Watch the first episode again, which I think was Cartman Gets an Anal Probe. I think that was episode number 1. Oh, but there was some great stuff in it. I need about 350. The bath one shocked me, Boaty, says Sophie. And I think that's in relation to which was my best video. Yeah, the bath one would shock you. I'm certainly never going to get up to, I'll never catch Joseph Lloyd up with videos like that, let alone Hubner. Neil says they slapped her with the fine on the hard shoulder. The worst part about it was being used as a live lane due to a diesel spill. Oh, bloody hell. Good evening, sir, says Dan Poty. Dan Peters. Sorry, Dan. Good evening to you. Good evening, Mr. Boaty, sir. Hope you're good and well. I am, thank you. Tomorrow after work, I should be sorting an exhaust rubber mounting on my car. Easy fix, I hope. Good luck, sir. We're all keeping our fingers crossed for you. Worst video, says Cheeseburger. Oh, who isn't in the Facebook group and wouldn't have seen this feature. Probably the driving challenge, in all honesty, mate. Can't see the point. Lives are best for you. Yeah, well, I'm not doing them anymore. I just thought it was, it could have been a good idea to get them all doing the same route under the same conditions, a bit like the Top Gear Best Lap. But of course, the problem was I cheat. I wanted Sheeson to win, so... Oh, dear. I would say the live was the best video, says Neil, where we did the boxing names. God, yeah. But you see, the lives work differently. Your lives will get views when they're live, but you won't get views afterwards. They won't run on and on. Whereas the car review videos, they will get views and views and views and views and views, and they will keep going. So they're the ones that really do your channel the most good and earn you the most quids. I mean, you know, things are on the up, and you got to remember, I'm still a relatively new channel. So I have to remind myself I'm doing okay, considering I've still not been going all that long. You know, well, anyway, there we are. Skick says, reviews you do are good. Trips to get dinner are a bit naff. Yeah, well, there you are. That's the example of the dichotomy. I put the Mustard and Boaty stuff up because I enjoy it. I put a lot of this stuff up because I enjoy it and we have a bit of fun, and I don't expect it to do any good for the channel. But I do recognize that I need to put the odd video up that's going to have appeal outside of the inner scrotum, and will actually drag people in and grow the channel a bit. And the reviews are very clearly the way to go with that. Hubnut has shown that, Joseph has shown that, James has shown that, Matt has shown that, Mustard is definitely showing it. All of his top videos are the reviews, and I'm finding the same thing. My best performing videos, my 2 best performing videos at the moment are the Jag video and the Land Rover video. Oh, and also the walking around the yard showing the cars for sale. That's done quite well as well. You know, I don't expect massive things, but you know, if I get videos in that earn £6 a month rather than 6p a month, and I can get 100 of those on the go, that's when suddenly you start doing reasonably okay. And that's the point where you can say, right, I'm really going to jump now, and I'm going to do this as a full-time gig like Hubnut did. Hubnut was earning about 700 quid a month off YouTube when he decided, sod it, I'll do it full-time. And as I said before, he was in a different position to me. I think he had a bit more flexibility because he had a wife who earned a good wage, and I'm just me, and I've got to pay rent and bills and try and keep cars on the road and whatnot. But yeah. And Sophie's just asking how everyone is and hoping that everybody's good. Would be Joe says the best video would be any video with me in it. Fair enough, Joe. And Mustard says mustard mitt. Don't know what that means. Skig says trips to buy a car. The journey on the train and the wait to see if the car was worthwhile are very good. I really enjoy those. Those are my favourite, and my best video for forever has been going down to London to buy Miss Henrietta Pie. That was the first video I had that started doing, in a tiny, tiny way, reasonably well. I love doing those. None of them have ever done quite as well as the as that original one, though, for some reason. Excuse me. Neil says, honest car reviews will always get views. If people are investing in a car, they want to see what other people think of them and what they find are their good and bad points. And I think you're absolutely right there. Yeah. That's how I got into watching YouTube in the first place, was by looking for exactly that. So, yeah, I think you're right. The worst video, says Joe, I'd agree with Cheeseburger. Those timed runs are not my cup of tea, and I don't see the point in them. Good job I haven't done one for a while. Jimmy says, your best video is the one you're not in. I'd agree with that. Cheeseburger says, if you want to match hubby, you need to sod off to Australia for 6 months. We can start a GoFundMe for you. Do it. I would very happily go to Australia for 6 months. Not a problem. My mate Chris says I can stay with him if I go down there. So there you go. That's sorted. And I could see Ross and whoever else I've got down in Australia, and I'd have a ball. I'd probably get eaten by a poisonous snake or spider or something, but I'd love to do that. I'd love to do New Zealand as well. Hello, children of the planet, says Stephen S. Ball. Cheeseburger says, I like a live mustard video in the afternoon when working. Fair enough. I do as well, but the problem is it depends on the work that you're doing. When Mustard's lives come on, I'm invariably editing or filming or trying to do both. And you can't do a live and film, and you can't do a live and edit. It's not like, if I was doing something like mowing the lawn or doing the washing up, then yeah, I can have it on in the background. I am here, says Mustard. Good. And thanks for today, mate. Joe says, I do kind of miss the random videos you used to do. I feel like the daily diary could be changed to a weekly diary and have some other new videos added to the channel to give diverse content. Well, I'm open to any ideas. You guys tell me, you guys, you poor sods, you have to watch them. Tell me what you like and tell me what you don't like, and tell me what you'd like to see more of. Nothing is set in stone. I'm happy to listen to any ideas and give them a go. It's not like I know what I'm doing. It's not like I know what works, or it's not like I've got a plan for what I want the channel to be. I'm just bloody winging it. I'm surprised I've got this far, really. I'm leaving the rest of the video until later, says Mustard. Oh, which video? You must have loads on the go. And I'm really keen to see the one on the Freelander and the one on the 45. And I'm keen to see the one on the car that you picked up today, if you picked it up. and all of these things. Ross is with us, Dinosaur Dad, and says, hello, platypuses. Skik says, also, in the live streams, you need to keep up with the comments because you ask a question and the answers come back half an hour later. Buttered sausages, asked Stephen Espel. Daniel Boaty Craig. Oh, yes, the new car is in the yard. There we go. We've got confirmation. And the new car is a bit of a departure from Mustard and Boaty do cars because Mustard and Boaty are doing a different kind of car. Yeah, there you are. Barry says it was okay. A lot of sorting out other people's crap. And he's talking about his first day in his new job. Cheeseburger says, come into my funeral. Do you think your Rover will get you to Bromsgrove? John Stoodley is amongst us right in our midst and says, hey chat, hey Boaty, you look very dapper tonight, mate. Well, thank you very much. Ross says, was there an acquisition adventure I missed? Yeah, I missed it too. Mustard did it on his own this afternoon after I left the yard. But no doubt we will all be able to catch up on a video. Cheeseburger says, if you run out of fuel, Boaty, just explain it to Rover. They'll believe you. Okay, interesting. Neil says, the fines are called committing to a carriageway without adequate fuel for the journey. That actually sounds quite reasonable when you put it like that, I suppose. I mean, it is a bit irresponsible to jump on a motorway without the correct amount of fuel, isn't it? I mean, it's something we've probably all done, but Chiswick says, Boaty, the banks were wound in on charges a few years ago. Yes, and thank God for it. I don't feel sorry for them, though. No, neither do I. 150 quid fine for not being able to afford to run your car, says Weston. Yeah, that's what it is, really. Can't you just say it's broken down, asked Cheeseburger. Ross says, my dad used to get these letters every week. Didn't quite end up being a prostitute, but it wasn't nice going absolutely skint all the time, and his gambling didn't help. Yeah, well, I've not been able to afford to gamble for ages. I miss my nights at the casino. And the one thing, and it's not like it cost me any money because I win. Oh, and I never taught you how to play blackjack. I said I'd do that, didn't I? And I really, really should. Oh, I completely forgot about that. If you look at my records, I'm well and truly up. I mean, I'm expert. I know exactly what I'm doing. But you still need a bit of a cushion, a bit of a float. And I just haven't had that cushion or that float. If I ever got back to being not rich or even well off, but just being okay, then I would absolutely go back to the gambling because it's a really useful income source. And that's what it always was for me. It was never, I've never lost on an ongoing basis. Yeah, you can lose on a night. You can even lose on a week. But I've never lost overall on a month, and I've certainly never lost on a year. Absolutely not. I mean, I've told you before how I do it, so there's no secret to it. But yeah, you just need that bit of a float, and I'd love to get back to it. I really enjoy it. It was a pleasure for me. I like casinos. It was like my local pub. All of my friends were there. The croupiers were all my friends, and the original ones. And then when they brought the Italians in, that was great. I could practice my Italian with them because, since I used to race for an Italian team, that's why I speak Italian. Carrera jeans, if you're remotely interested. I don't suppose you are. And of course, I don't get a chance to speak Italian, so it was nice to be able to break out my rusty Italian. And I just loved it all. And I like the thrill of it, and I like the satisfaction that comes from knowing your shit and doing it really, really well. So yeah, if if ever things did go up, I would absolutely incorporate that into my doings. And I would almost rather do the casino 4 to 5 nights a week than do the restaurant. Almost. Except I'm so in love with the restaurant at the moment. Anyway, yet more tax on motorists, says Barry. Was Chamberlain from Smethwick, asked Cheeseburger. That's where the cheeseburgers hail from. Charlie Chaplin was born in Smethwick, but he always denied it. I don't know where Neville Chamberlain was from. In my mind tonight, he was from Smethwick. I very much doubt he really was. What's the difference between a woman and a toilet? Asked Cheeseburger. You don't have to cuddle a toilet afterwards. Sorry. And then he should have added the hashtag not sorry. Sophie says, yeah, I had my work coach send me a job as a receptionist. As they're looking for someone to join the B2W group based in Walsall and Wolverhampton. You'd be a good receptionist. Cheeseburger says Mustard's top videos are when he's blowing in the wind. Okay. Sophie's dream job was working for the RSPCA or being a hairdresser, but it didn't really work out. And if I could go back to college, I'd love to try a car mechanics course. The RSPCA thing, could you there are opportunities there to work as a volunteer, aren't they? If you're not working at the moment, I'm sure that you can volunteer at, if not the RSPCA itself, then you can volunteer at various places. And then you can gain the experience and whatnot that will potentially help you towards an actual paid position and a career on that side of things. And God knows, there's not much in life that's more worthwhile than working with animals that need a bit of kindness. Stephen S. Paul, favourite video? A Brit called Wilfred. Yeah. I watched that one again, a week or two ago. It was quite funny, actually. That was the only one I've ever had that went mad, a non-short that went viral. It's done 2,700 views, but it did all of those views in 2 hours. It was crazy. I remember we were on the Milkstone Road. We were in Istanbul. I'm sure it was Istanbul. And we were doing the stats. We were with somebody. Can't remember who it was. Could have been Johnny Two Scoops. And we were doing our stats or something. I'm looking at the phone. And suddenly this video started going mental. I couldn't believe it. And it's never happened since, sadly. A Brit called Wilfred. See, if I could do more of those, I would. But I was just in a very particular state of mind at a very particular time. And I just felt like doing it. And I did it. There was another one like that a lot of people liked. Does my Rover 75 Tourer have a hidden secret? That came about out of nothing. My shopping fell over in the back seat. And I went to get my potato to do lunch and it wasn't there. And so I ended up doing a search for this potato. And of course, I knew it was in the car. It had to be in there somewhere. And of course, the denouement was that the potato was in the car, and that was the hidden secret of the Rover 75 Tourer. But that does quite good views as well. But again, I can't set something like that up. That was just something mad in the moment. And maybe Joe had a point about the daily diaries, that if I wasn't concentrating on daily diaries, maybe then when these mad things did occur, I'd be able to just do them. But then the danger is that they don't occur and you've got nothing to go out that day. My top 10 videos are all car reviews, says Mustard. Yeah, I mean, that's what works, isn't it? And that's what's built the bigger channels. Jimmy Quinn says, Boaty, on the dark web, your video in the bath does very well. Oh God, I'd love that. Imagine being a viral sensation somewhere on the dark web and you don't know anything about it. Video title, like a Pet Shop Boys song. I love YouTube, you pay my rent. Oh, that's good. Screenshot that. And I don't know how I got into watching YouTube, says Cheeseburger, but I don't regret it. Boaty does Sydney. And Cheeseburger says, Boaty does Dallas, sounds better. Tell me what you like, says Cheeseburger. Are we having sex? God, is that something you ask when you're having sex? Or do you just go with instinct? Oh, God, I almost told you something about Bernard then, and that would be really, really indiscreet. Really indiscreet. And I'm glad that I didn't. Ross says, I always watch the lunch videos in the caravan and the drives to lunch. It makes great background content when I'm working, as you don't have to watch, kind of like a podcast. Oh, there you are. Oh, hello, the Guardian of Forever is with us. I enjoy your trips to work and back and taking in that scenery without fearing for my life, unlike driving with the other half. Oh, that's good feedback, thank you. Soph would love to do the RSPCA and also maybe be a waitress and answering calls to people booking appointments and love retail and mechanics as well. Well, there's lots of strings to your bow there. 4 videos made today by Project Nigel, Captain Mustard. The one I was editing is the 45. Oh, I hope it comes together okay. And I hope you remember to edit out that bit, and you know what I'm talking about. Actually, I'll give you £20 if you leave that in. That bit where I said you can't say that. £20 if you leave the whole thing in. And not just me saying you can't say that. You've got to leave the bit in where you say the thing that I say that you can't say. You won't leave it in. You'd be mad if you did. You'd upset somebody. God, that was funny. And like many things, it was funny because it was true. Oh dear. Committing to a video without adequate fuel, says Cheeseburger, sounds like not the 9 o'clock news. Oh yeah. Looking at me in a funny way. That is from the Constable Savage sketch, where he continually arrested this chap. What was his name? Mr. Something Umbogo. And the list of things, and that was one of the things he was charged with, looking at me in a funny way. What were the other ones? Let's come up with them. Walking around during the hours of daylight with an offensive wife, possession of curly black hair and thick lips. I mean, you wouldn't get away with it nowadays. Savage, would I be correct in assuming that Mr. Umbogo is a Caribbean gentleman? Well, I can't say I've ever noticed, sir. Oh, dear. Oh, this is interesting from Ben. Oh, this is interesting. Right. He says, this is Ben, this is interesting. The worst video was the Charlotte Dobre co-presenter video. I thought that was one of my best. I thought that was really clever, given the context of how it came about. So I'm genuinely interested and surprised that you think it was worst. And the best was the extra long one, the behind the scenes video of the Jag video with Big Tall Steve, or the Brit called Wilfred. God, that's interesting. Dan Peters is sadly having to depart due to work. Good night, everyone, and good night to you. And I suppose we should start saying our good nights. It is. Oh, God, we're nearly at the end. Casinos can be a bit of a gamble. Yeah, but that's the fun. Oh, just check, says she. Oh, God, I was right. Just check, says Cheeseburger. Chamberlain was born in Edgbaston. I had no idea. I had no idea he was a Brummie. That was genuinely just me prattling about. Good God. Probably the rich side of the Hagley Road. Probably, yeah. Oh, Jimmy Quinn has had one missed, but I'm not sure what he had missed. This could be what he missed. If you had loads of money, nobody would recognise you with your new Turkish teeth and your new hairpiece. Well, one of those is true, Jimmy. I would certainly have the Turkish teeth, but I don't need a hairpiece. I'm not losing any hair. This this widow's peak, admittedly, that looks like a receding hairline, but it's not. It's not receding. That's how I was born. My hair has always been like that. And if you look at a receding hairline, there's always an imprint where the hair used to be. And if you look at mine, you will see smooth as a baby's bum. That is where my hairline has always been, never changed. Where did I get to? Oh, Jimmy. The potato video says mustard. I don't know if that's my best or my worst. Probably my best. It was a good video, actually. I mean, in terms of YouTube nonsense, it was a really good video. And I'd love to do videos like that every day. But it was just a one-off that came to me. I'm not that clever. I can't invent comedy like that. It's just when it pops up, it pops up. Video title, Let's Play Hide the Potato. Ben says, talking favourites, pretty much all of the lives, all of the lunches, the collection calamities, the mustard and boaty cars, what we got for sale, bruv. Oh, and then he comes out with a line. I was proud of this line. And I genuinely didn't plan it. It just came out. I just opened my mouth and it came out. This Paisley bench has never seen a prostitute's bare ass. I was quite proud of that. And it genuinely just popped out. Oh dear, I'm late, says Simone. Better late than never, my lovely. Thank you for being with us. And so says, my real job is to drive Neil up the wall, Boaty, and good for you. Boaty's in a hurry, on a promise. No, mate. It's not tonight. Weekend is a different story. No, not tonight. It's been a longish day. I'm a bit knackered. And I'm really looking forward to my noodles. And I've got a load of footage to try and sort. And I might do an hour of that before I eat and toddle up to bed. Or if Mustard's got some videos coming out, I'll watch those instead. Excuse me. As a work avoidance measure. Umbongo, says Simone. Umbongo. They drink it in the Congo. Oh, and my mate could recite the whole thing, but I can't. That's it, Cheeseburger. Winston Kadogo. That was the gentleman's name. I bet you it doesn't go in mustard. There's no way you lose 20 quid if it goes in, the whole of it. Genuinely, 20 quid. Have I got 20 quid? I will have tomorrow. Oh, and Cheeseburger's got them all. Here we go. These were the offences that Mr. Winston Kadogo was arrested for. Walking on the cracks in the pavement, wearing a loud shirt in a built-up area during the hours of darkness, being in possession of curly black hair and thick lips. So racist. I totally was. Barry Scrotter says, are the bricks Wilfred and Gerald related? Also, why was the mirror on the Red Rover disappointed? Oh, God, yeah, those are from a brick called Wilfred, aren't they? That mirror just looked disappointed to me. It was very philosophical, that video. Oh, dear. Barry's going to head out to ta for now, and, yeah, we really are going to... Oh, Ben says, to be fair, the Dobre vid was well done, just not for me. The reason that came about, for those who don't know, oh, that was a bit of a game changer. The Charlotte Dobre thing. I had no idea who Charlotte Dobre was. She's a comedian and an actress in Canada. I thought she was American. And she's got a massive YouTube channel, well over 1 million subscribers. I had no idea who she was. One of my lovely subscribers, in fact, I'm pretty sure it was Tracy, sent me a message saying, did you know that you are on a Charlotte Dobre video, and sent me the link. And sure enough, and I was. She'd lifted me and used me on her video. And I thought, well, you cheeky cow, two can play at that game. So I decided that in a bit of revenge, I would use her using me and make it. And at the time, me and Mustard, I mean, this is a year ago or more. Me and Mustard were talking a lot about getting a female co-presenter, which we would still love to do, by the way. So I made a video making out that Charlotte Dobre had applied for the job as our co-presenter, and I played the stuff and whatnot, and I thought it was quite funny, and I did it totally on the hoof. Again, there was no planning. Trace sent me that message. I saw the thing, and that video was up within 15 minutes. So no planning at all, just done totally on the hoof, really quickly edited and uploaded. And the really weird thing is that it actually did me a lot of good. I picked up so many subscribers from that. And I picked up American and Canadian subscribers. And I got comments and messages saying, you two will be so great together. I can't wait, blah, blah, blah. Genuinely, I did get those. Americans, bit thick, didn't understand the irony. And I tagged this nice lady in it, and never heard of sausage, but I hope she saw it at least, so she knew that I did get my own back on her. I mean, I think when I did that video, I had something like 200 subscribers. I was, in YouTube terms, I was a total nothing. So that was a really useful leg up for me. Didn't have a clue who she was, never heard of her, but yeah, I totally would do her. And I quite like having her in my intro. I think she works really well in the intro. Makes me look as if I'm a bit more important than I am. Careful with close-ups of your head. You will drive Michael Burrows wild, says Bad Books. Yeah, I think it's the wrong end of my body. Good night, everybody. God bless, and good night, Boaty, says Soph. Your best video is when the bollard jumped out in front of you. Oh, God, the live stream after biffing Stigbutt. Your best video by far, says Ross, is you and Mustard and the pottering harness conversation. I loved that. Oh, brilliant, Cheeseburger. Video title, Charlotte Dobre, never heard of her, and I'll tag her in it again. Nice one. Brilliant. That might get this live stream views. Cheeseburger, you're a genius. In fact, I should tag famous people in all of the live streams. Find an excuse to tag them in. But yeah, nice one, Cheeseburger. That is the one. That is definitely the one. Where was it? Oh, yeah. Your best video by far was you and Mustard and the pottering harness conversation. I can tell you which that one was, because it's probably my favourite bit of me and Mustard. I think that was me and Mustard at our very best, the pottering harness. That was hilarious. And it was, oh, shit. Oh, I've just splashed a wine turd. I have frozen my wine, by the way. Oh, it's a big turd. Oh, there it goes. And another one. Oh. There we are. Oh dear, got that everywhere. Yeah, that video, it was a mustard and Boaty do lunch video, and it was the first or possibly second time that mustard came here and we had lunch here, and I made momo. So the title will be something like Mustard and Boaty do lunch cooking Nepali momo at Windy Bottom or something like that. Can't remember what the title is, but yeah, that came out, and that was just, oh God, that was so funny. That was so funny, the pottering harness. I mean, we still talk about it. It actually came up. It came up when we were in Llandudno, the pottering harness, and I'm sure it came up this Monday. We've never entirely forgotten it. I loved, I loved that idea. I'm sure it came up on Monday. What were we talking about? Oh God, oh dear God. Oh, maybe with a bit of luck, it'll be on this Monday's lunch video with Cooperman. Re-becoming one with Dicka Dum Dum, says Ben. When you're on back of the hand roads, you're 99% fully in the zone with the motor and find out how you really feel about it. In my experience. That's probably quite true, actually. Yeah, when you're on, Ben's saying that when you're on roads that you know like the back of your hand, then that's when you can really explore the car. That wasn't made up in any way, shape or form. I did feel that with Dicka Dum Dum, and I felt it again today, and it's going to be there forevermore. I am so newly enamored with that car, and it's not re-enamored because I was never enamored with him. I love the fact that it was Joseph's car. I love the fact that it was a well-known YouTube car. I love the fact that it was a white elephant. I love the fact that it was rare. I love the fact that it was a potentially appreciating asset. I didn't love the car itself. I just thought it was nothing, to be honest, to be completely honest. And I've said as much in a few videos. I referred to it very disparagingly in comparison to the 623 GSI. Now, I wouldn't spit on the 623 GSI in comparison to that. Now that I've got that connection with it, and now I know what it can do and what it can do for me, it's fantastic. And you will probably, I don't know how it will edit, but I'm sure in Mustard's video of the 45, you're bound to see some bits of he and I disagreeing on a few aspects of it. Next week's live, Taylor Swift. Never heard of her. Oh dear. I hope you can sleep in tomorrow, says Cheeseburger. Too much wine. Oh, people seem to be commenting on the fact that I may possibly have broken wind, and I apologise for that. Oh dear. And Andrew is turning up just as I'm about to say good night again. So a very good evening to you too, Andrew. There we are. Right, I think that's about it for tonight, darlings. Thank you for the video title, whatever it was. Shot that. Yeah. Charlotte Dobre, question mark. Never heard of her. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. About time she got another mention. And I mean, I'm a tiny bit more well known than I was the first time I mentioned her. Maybe this time she will get in touch and, pop over and undergo a slight pottering, perhaps. God, you'd have to turn her volume down. She's a bit loud. All right, darlings. Thank you so much for being with me tonight and indeed throughout the week. And let's get my little device here because I will, of course, fart you out. Put your song on, Boaty. Say so. If I will, I'll do it now. Is Ben a YouTuber? Asked Betty Scott. I'm not sure. Good night, Boaty, says Cheeseburger. It's been a good week, Boaty, and a great live night all, and see you next week. Yeah, this is it, isn't it? I'll squeeze in the lunchtime live if I can. I'm not promising, so I've got loads of editing to do this weekend. I've got loads of stuff to get up, and sorry about that. And there are other things happening this weekend. And I'd like to have a play with Stigbutt as well as the other having a play with other things. Oh God, it's only a fortnight, Ross, until you're coming over. Bloody hell. There we go. Let's get you lovely people well and truly farted out. Volume up. And where's it gone? Ah, here we go. God, I feel like this doing that. That is it, darlings. Thank you so much for being with me tonight. Thank you for being with me throughout all of the lives this week. If I don't see you before on a live, I will most definitely see you next Monday when everything is back to normal. Monday will be my yard day. It'll only be back to normal for 1 week because the week after, there will be no yard day. I will be having a road trip adventure through Snowdonia and the Horseshoe Pass, and the live that week, a week next Monday, will be from the seaside again, almost certainly real. So have a safe and peaceful night. Take great care of yourselves. Have the best day that you can tomorrow, and have a fantastic weekend. And much love from me. Thank you again, and can't wait to see you next time. Basildon Bond, licensed to make noodles. Oh, I'm looking forward to my noodles.